All right, y'all, what's good? Man, today is one of them days that I I could have a sequence of things that I can do, and like I really don't have a lot of time for for any lapsing or whatever. Okay, like it's not a lot to do, but it's like a kind of like a daily order of business, and which you should prioritize as well and get it knocked out so you have less to do later. But let's get on a more important subject here. I cheer a lot here in Las Vegas because the air is dry. And plus, we're at high altitude. I believe it's 2,500 foot above sea level. So, uh, Uganda is one of the countries. There's several others, dozens of others, from my understanding, in Africa as well as the Middle East. But let's talk about Uganda because there's a bill to ban homosexuality. Okay, and basically you can go to jail for that. Okay, if you identify yourself as a LGBTQ in that group. Now, as a disclaimer, this is not no thing to try to bash that particular group here in America, here in the Western, or if you're in the Western world, okay. But you have to look that you are when you're dealing with those countries over there, all right. And I'm telling you because I used to live over there, okay, in Egypt and in Israel. I was stationed over there for 1 year when I was in the military. Okay, spent 4, 5, 6 years in the Middle East, which actually, back in the day, the Middle East was known as North or East Africa back then. Okay, but nevertheless, you got a whole different set of rules. They're more dogmatic over there. Okay, more like male dominated. Okay, it's more of a structure and order. Things are more liberal out here in the Western world. Okay, so you need to look at the difference or whatever. Okay, there's certain things over there, particularly in the Middle East, you could be beheaded. Okay, not just go to jail, but you could be beheaded for some things that you do over there that you do in America. You cannot do those things over there. Okay, you go over there, you're not. You need to remember if you get a chance to go, you're not at home. Okay, that's if you live here in America or in the Western world. But there's a bill that the president of Uganda is going to receive. All right, that's been proposed to ban anyone deeming themselves as LGBTQ. Okay, and I have to agree with that. Now, the president says that he hates homosexuality. All right, when I saw the interview, okay, you can see it for yourself, and he looks at it, it's disgusting and all that. Okay, I think it is too, but I don't necessarily. For me, I don't hate a gay or a lesbian person. I have a couple of gay people or people that deem themselves as gay, LGBTQ or lesbian or gay in my family. But I still love them, all right, because I'm just taught to love people, all right, regardless of, that type of stance or whatever, okay. Um, it's hard to do, but they're my family. Uh, but look, the reason why is to do that. That's what they have to do to maintain that order there in Africa. But for the most part, to protect the children and their children as well. Okay, that there has to be boundaries and rules in effect. If you don't have boundaries and rules in effect, okay, any society will be out of control. All right. That's the reason why, like I say, it's like that for a reason. Okay. They don't support gay marriage as well. Okay. Over there, and many of those, pretty much all those countries in Africa, pretty much. Okay. So, like I say, though, that's a whole different, whole different monkey over there. Okay. At one time here in America, they didn't do that. All right. But some state, it's just dependent on the states and all that. Okay. Uh, although it is like a federal mandate, but the state does not have to marry you. This just depends on, again, it depends on the state. Okay. Now I think here, depending on well, while I have you on video, I think if somebody gets elected, okay, if there's going to be that person, okay, this is a person that's in a lot of trouble, that's been, well, alleged, maybe indicted and all that other stuff, okay, then he's going to try to roll back on some of those rules as well, as far as in uh, things like rolling back limitations on how old you need to be, which I do agree that you need to be probably like 18, okay, uh, to be able to have a sex change and that type of stuff. All right. Hormones and all that. Okay. Excuse me. Children should not be allowed, okay, from their parents or whatever. This agenda should not be pushed on our children. And you know the bad thing about it is, because people don't like me, okay, and I got put in this, you know, this program here because they don't like me. And the bad thing about it, we got conscious community people and these so-called religious frauds, right? Many of you guys that teach the Bible, but you don't talk about this stuff. You don't bring this stuff up. You teach a patriarchal Bible, and then when somebody brings somebody that's not afraid to bring it up, then I get called a bigot. Okay, when you already know, okay, what's right and wrong, whatever. Okay, according to Leviticus 18, 20, and 22. A lot of y'all don't talk about it because I told you before. Y'all either on 501c3 or you got a liberal woman or wife, okay, pushing your buttons, okay, or either you in on it, or excuse me for saying this, too incompetent to do something about it, okay? And I'm saying that in a way without trying to disrespect the LGBT community, okay? So, but don't get it twisted over there in Africa, because a lot of those guys, they'll sit up there and talk about that stuff, that they don't like it, but on the down low, okay, they're just more benign, okay, and more indiscreet about it. Some of them guys are like gay and lesbian, okay, but it's just that they just don't bring it out there. It's more of a very taboo, or um, I'm trying to think of the way to say it, uh, underground type thing, okay, for some of them. All right, I've talked to people in Africa, like in South Africa and so forth, okay. They be gay people, like, oh, go and hang out, but they're not necessarily label it as gay, okay? Like the spots, maybe they go out, that type of stuff, all right? They just indiscreetly just do what they do, and that's it, okay? Because I think that they know that the government maintains a hard stance on that, okay? But that's, I think, the stuff that needs to be brought up for the sake of our children here in America, okay? Other than, all this backbiting and all this stuff, catching every little thing. You got people following other people that you don't like. You catch every little thing, making scriptures about it, okay? Because somebody might sip a beer, okay? Or they may listen to some hip hop, all right? Now, I'm not saying that's what I'm doing, okay? Or somebody may make a comment on Nicki Minaj's booty, okay? Fake booty, that type of thing, all right? But there's more important fish to fry. All right. Again, for the sake of our children, okay, and there needs to be more rules in effect based on that. Okay, and I think that they're all coming. All right. In fact, there's some states like Tennessee, Florida. They're already working on that right now. But let me know what you think about the video there. Okay. I believe that they're doing the right thing. Okay. Again, there has to be, like I say, rules and laws in effect. And thank you for your time.